People, this your boy P. Rouse back in the building with the homie.
Hey, what's goody, Purple Fam? This is Micah, aka CMS, aka the One, and together we are the Purple
Underground. Yo, and right now, what we're gonna talk about? You know what I'm saying? This is kind of a tearjerker. You know what I mean? But there was a string of shows Prince did in Louisville, Kentucky. March 14th. He did 2 March 14th and 2 March 15th of 2015. And these shows are very special to us because it was the actual last time we got to see Prince live. You know what I mean? And you know, we just wanted to kind of talk about him. I believe Michael went to the second show on March 15th.
Yes, it was the second night, the second show, the very last show on the second night.
Right, and I went to the first night, second show. You know what I mean? Which not to rub it in though, but it was the best show I heard out of all the shows. You know.
I've heard that from several people.
So
who were at that show.
It was off the chain.
And I've heard that from a good friend of ours who was at all 4. Shout out to Eric Rogers.
Shout out.
Paisley 5 and down.
Shout out Paisley 5 and down. But yeah, man, the freaking March 14th show, the second show that night, the Louisville Palace. Am I saying that right? Louisville? Is that how they say it? Louisville? How they say it down
there? We say Louisville. We say Louisville.
Louisville.
Now everybody else, you know, all over the U.S., they might pronounce it as Louisville. But in Kentucky, well, at least up here in northern Kentucky, we say Louisville.
Louisville.
So
okay.
they probably pronounce it like that too, Louisville. Right. So Louisville or Louisville, Kentucky.
So that show, the 14th, the second show that night, it was first me, the wife, Coach Mike. Shout out to Coach Mike and his wife actually went to the show. You know what I mean? We drove down. You know what I mean? And first of all, the atmosphere was incredible. Like, the merch section was off the hook. You know what I mean? T-shirts, music, this, that, other. Everything was there, man. You know what I mean? Now, the actual show, I think that show lasted about 2 hours. At least. And I think I'm minimizing it. For real. Might have lasted longer than that. I'm not playing. This show was off the hook. You know what I mean? It was just an incredible night. You know what I mean? And I'm just blessed that, just as you probably feel too, that we got to see him a little over a year before he died. You know what I mean? Like I think he put on a hell of a show. You know what I mean? And for me, that experience was great. Fucking great. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't trade it in for the world. You know? And then I got to share it with my wife, so you know, that made it like extra special. So, you know. So how did you feel about your experience?
Well, when the announcement was made that Prince was coming to Louisville or Louisville, I was so amped up, you know, and when the tickets went on sale, you know, I was trying to make sure that I was gonna get these tickets, and they sold out so quickly, and I just couldn't believe it. Then maybe 30 minutes later, they announced, I don't know if it was like online or somewhere, oh, a second show's been announced, or a second show was going to be announced or something. Like that was the rumor. That ended up happening. Missed out getting tickets for that. It's like, damn. So, and I remember you telling me you got your tickets, and I was happy, but I was a little bummed out too.
Right.
So, like, damn. So, and at the time, this is when I was with my more recent ex-girlfriend. She ended up, you know, she was trying to keep tabs on, listening out for any other announcements. So, because there were people saying like, there's rumor that there's gonna be a second night, and I'm just like, okay. So then when it came through, okay, there's gonna be a second night on a Sunday. So I'm thinking, okay, if he's gonna do a show, if he did 2 shows on a Saturday, I bet it's gonna be 2 shows on a Sunday. So didn't get tickets to the first night on a Sunday. Then the ex-girlfriend, she ended up getting tickets or finding a way to get tickets for the second night. So we got those, we locked in. Okay, cool. So March 15th comes, you know, I'm excited. But you know what, to be honest with you, man, I was more excited for her because she never seen Prince. So she's getting to see you know, my personal favorite artist, and she's about to see why, you know, I just love this guy and respect this guy.
Right.
You know, so, you know, it's just one of those things, which, you know, I had a similar situation before with another ex-girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Just to share, you know, these experiences, you know, with these people that, you know, that have been involved in my life at some point. So anyway, we go down to Louisville. You know, we traveling, you know, just hype, listening to music, listening to Prince. I'm like bumping Hit and Run Phase 1. you know, just getting in the mood. I think we was playing like Uptown Funk too, because that was, you know, the hot song out at the time. So we get to the Louisville Palace, and just like what you just said, from your experience, the atmosphere was nice. Like, that's a very nice venue. Let me just say that.
Yes, it is.
Very nice venue. There's really not a bad seat.
Right.
Because I don't know where you sat at, but we were up in the balcony.
Yeah, we was in the balcony.
Yeah, and we were like on the, I want to say like maybe like kind of like towards the left a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we could look directly down and just see everything on the stage. So our view was like, ooh. Well, actually, before I even continue, let me go back a little bit, because you mentioned the merch. Yeah, the merch was great. It's funny because, you know, since I bought the tickets, she agreed that she was going to buy the merch. I said, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting, I think, 3 T-shirts. I got one with Prince and Third Eye Girl. I got the This Can Be Us T-shirt. That's funny now. But
damn.
And yeah. So
yeah, I think I bought this can be us T-shirt. The one with his face on it with the afro.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I bought that Third Eye Girl bag.
Yeah, see, I didn't get the bag.
2 posters. Yeah, 2 posters. I'm looking at them now. Shit, yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I got did I buy a poster? I can't remember if I did or not. Only thing I remember is buying, like, well, I didn't buy them. She bought them, the tees. But the one tee, I think you just mentioned it, the one where he got the afro.
Yeah.
But there were like 2 different. There were 2 different kinds of the one where he's got the picture with him and with the afro.
Right.
It was like from the same. It was from the same photo session, but it was just a different pose and a different picture. So there's one where he's got, like, he has his mouth open, and he's holding a guitar, and then another one where he's kind of has his arms folded in front of his mouth.
Right.
And that was the one I got. But the funny thing about it is, they tried to hide that shirt underneath the table in a box. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So, and people were asking for that one, you know, the one they had on display.
Right.
And they were trying to say they were sold out. But I was like, nah, there's a whole box of them. So I asked the one of the girls who was selling the merch. I said, hey, how much is that T-shirt? I want to get that one, the one that you got underneath the box. And the look she kind of had was, and she looked at the other girl like, can he get this one? So the vibe I got was they was trying to hold off on those shirts, maybe, or trying to hold them for, I guess, somebody who they was trying to give a hookup to.
Right.
But nonetheless, whether that was the case, I wanted one of them shirts, and I was gonna get one of them shirts. So I got what I want. So anyway, we got our merch, got to our seats. The show definitely was, you know, he put on a great show. Shout out to our friend of the Purple Underground, Mr. Jamin Flowers. He was at that show too.
Right.
And I ran into him and his brother. So that was real cool. And but the show was great. It's funny looking back, man, because it's like, for me, that particular night it's a lot of mixed feelings for me personally, you know, because of the situation that I was in, you know, with, you know, the ex, and then seeing Prince for the very last time.
Right.
But one of the highlights I would say it was funny. He was doing a piano medley, and he was doing the beautiful ones.
Right.
So when he goes into like the screaming and things like that, and this was unexpected, but she started actually like screaming like he kind of got to her. So it was kind of funny to me. You know, I don't think it was an act. So it was kind of like, yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, see, you know, see, she gets it now. She's getting it. Like, you got to her.
Right.
So, but yeah, man. I mean, even when he went into Let's Go Crazy, I mean, it just like that just set the tone right there.
Yeah.
And everything. I mean, he sounded good. I can't remember the whole set list off the top of my head right now, but I know when he did Controversy, you know, he was doing the damn thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, man. I mean, just like I said, it was a fun night. Great show, and I mean, for me, it was. I look at it like, man, you know, living in Kentucky, I can say I saw Prince's last show in the state that I was born in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I saw Prince's last show in Cincinnati too, back in 2004.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
you know
yeah,
what else
man,
was real crazy about that show? Was
what?
the ticket process. When I think about that now, because what had happened was like they was giving you the runarounds like for the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So then we was finally able to get through, and they like give us a credit card number.
Right.
We gave them the credit card number, and then like, okay, when you get to the show, you know what I'm saying, you get your ticket when you get to the show.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, but they sent you like a confirmation and all that type shit though. But I'm just kind of like in my mind, like, how faulty can this be? Because I had never bought tickets like that before, where I didn't have a physical ticket like to print or download.
Right. Mm.
So it was like, okay, when I get to this show, is the ticket gonna be there? Is it gonna be like wheel call or some shit?
Right.
So I'm like, they like, well, how did you purchase your ticket, sir? I said, with my credit card. So they said, give me the credit card you used. Mm-hmm. So they swiped it, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So when they swiped it, the ticket printed out. Like, here you go, sir. Keep going. And I'm like, damn, I had never been through a ticketing process like that before. And I don't think I've been through one since.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was really crazy, because the way that people was trying to get through to try to get those tickets, I mean, I think even my sister was trying to get through. I think she was. I can't recall right off the top right now, but see, looking back on it now, I've learned, years later, it was probably a whole bunch of people buying a whole bunch of tickets and trying to like scalp them.
Right, that's what I had thought about too.
Yeah. So, which is crazy. I mean, it's I get it, but it's still messed up for the real, like us, really wanting to, you know what I'm saying, really wanting to go, but also trying to take people, who's in our lives, whether it's our significant other or whether it's somebody who we want to share that experience.
Right.
Yeah. Just like, what we had. So, also, before I finish, my conclusion with the show, but another thing to point out, for all the viewers who's listening and watching, and I remember you told me this after you watched your show from the first night, the second show. You told me that, hey man, I'm just letting you know, I wouldn't take no pictures in there, man. they are not playing. Right. The security is strict. They ain't playing, and they will toss you out.
Yeah, it was deep.
So yeah,
it was deep because, like, I remember like this big black dude just stalking people with cameras and shit out. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until Prince told everybody to pull out their cell phones that they actually lighten up a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So. Yeah, it was. That was.
Yeah, it was, man, and I did not take a chance.
Right.
On pulling out my camera phone, because the way that you said it, I said, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm not gonna do it now. The ex, she did manage to snap about 3 pics towards the end, towards the end of Purple Rain.
Right.
And it's funny because she was real slick with it, but there was a group of people, and one of the one of the people, I ended up finding out who it was later. I'm not gonna mention the female's name. I'll tell you offline who it was, but you know 'em. But they were taking pictures,
Right.
and I guess they got caught. And this is like right towards the end of the concert, I think, and they had to go. They had to go. It's like you said to me, it's like they're not gonna give you no warnings or nothing. But I did hear a story. I think somebody did get a warning,
Right.
and they still was taking pictures. It's like, man, you know. But I will say this though, and I've learned this from going to shows. If you are watching a concert and you're filming it and taking pictures the whole time, you definitely miss out on a big portion of the experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to take a few pics and be done, but if you're doing that the whole time, I mean, it's like when it's all said and done, like yeah, you'll have the memories, but it won't be the same when you just had your attention span is like right at the actual performer.
Right.
You know. So the reason why I say that is because remember when me, you, and Coach Mike went to go see Janet in 2015 for the Unbreakable tour.
Right.
And I was like constantly taking pictures and looking back on it. Yeah, the show was good, but I don't remember. I mean, I remember certain things, but it's more of a blur in comparison to the other times I went to go see her.
Right.
And after that,
right.
You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, you know, Hit and Run 2015 tour, Louisville, Kentucky, at the Louisville Palace. Great show. Looking back on it again, I can. One thing I will say this, and I remember Prince said this in one of his shows. He said, you know, when he would say like, how many of y'all have seen me before? And then you know the crowd would respond. He said, okay, how many of y'all haven't seen me before? And then he would say things like, okay, next time somebody old brings somebody new.
Right. And
I can look back and say that, you know, I'm glad that, you know, I did that.
Right.
You know, because, you know, that person, she can always look back and say, you know what, I got a chance to see Prince. And he was great.
Well, you know? the person I've been to every Prince show I've ever seen with my wife, so.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. And it was, like I said, it's something I will definitely hold dear with me, you know, as long as I live.
Right.
So.
For sure. So.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just wanted to express this because we just feel blessed that we actually got to see him before he transcended.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Yeah, I really was hoping to see that piano and a microphone because I was really I had my hopes to see that because I was going to bring my mom for that one because I think that's one I could see her really enjoying.
Right.
So, yeah, but, you know,
so
wasn't meant to be.
So when was the last time y'all seen any people? Leave your comments down in the comment section. And we can talk about it. I'm P. Ross.
And I am Micah, a.k.a. CMS. And together we are
the
Purple
Underground. Peace and be wild.